Welcome back to Sledgehammer Horror, guys. I am Ken Sledge.
I'm Ashley Sledge.
Let's talk horror. Today we are joined by two people that are great friends of ours. We got John and we got Jamie from the Horror Dads podcast. How you doing today, guys?
What's going on?
What's up?
Hello.
Happy to be here.
We are so excited to have you guys. We've been looking forward to this. I've been lucky enough to work with John and Jamie and my first horror movie capacity. Ashley and I together have been lucky enough to be on the Horror Dads podcast, talking about our top three supernatural slasher films.
Mm-hmm.
And so to be able to work with you guys again is such a pleasure. Before we get going with everything, John, can you tell us a little bit about you and your job on the Horror Dads podcast?
Yeah, I'm one half of the Horror Dads podcast with Jamie. He and I are brother-in-laws. We release episodes bi-monthly, and typically we'll do interview collaborations. We'll have folks from the industry on, or we'll collaborate with other podcasts or other content creators. Or Jamie and I will do stuff kind of like this concept where we'll count down worst teachers in horror films, or best teachers in horror films, or best winter horror films, and we'll kind of do top 5 or top 10 lists. So, this is right in our wheelhouse. We're pumped to do this.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's why I was so excited to bring you guys on here. What about you, Jamie? What can you tell us a little bit about you?
Yeah, so I work during the day in logistics, and then at night I'm typically trying to be my best dad I can be, and horror dad I can be. So watching a lot of horror movies, falling asleep to a lot of horror movies, and John and I just have a blast, and we're, so honored that you guys had us on.
Oh, such an honor.
I'm excited.
Before we get started, a couple ground rules that we always lay out. One, you never have to pay to be a part of the chat. We accept donations, and we actually, because of your guys' generosity and your donations that you have given to us here in the last couple of lives, we will have a brand new Sledgehammer horror set finally built and ready to go here soon. So we want to thank you guys all for your generosity, but it is never expected. So thank you. Number 2, Horror Dads, good friends of ours, but also amazing content creators.
Mm-hmm.
Not only are they amazing content creators, but they also have amazing shirts.
I'm showing my shirt off too. Horror Dads.
That Peppler design right there. So you guys can check out the podcast as well as their merchandise down here in the description. I do have the link to their website where you can check everything out. Now, before we get started on the reason we're here, I want to say hello to everybody that's here in the chat real quick.
Matt Peppler, actually, who did the design for that shirt, is in the chat right now, and he actually designed most of these posters behind me. So, what's up, Matt?
What's up to him?
Awesome.
JDev TV's here. What's up, buddy? Nice to see you. Nathan, my dude. Maya's here. Hey, Maya. Maya, actually just had a bout with COVID. It's been going through her house, so we hope you're okay, Maya. I know you've been driving yourself crazy during quarantine. Shaheem is here. What's up, buddy? Nick, Slug should get an honorable mention. That may be on a list or two. You never know. I love movies. We'll be working together soon. Oh, there he is. Matt Peppler, the man behind the posters. What's going on, buddy? Thanks for coming out and hanging out with us.
Nice design.
Yeah, we love your design. John, what's up, buddy? Thanks for coming out. I didn't prepare a list this time because I've been so tired and fatigued. It's totally fine, Maya. We totally understand. We're just glad that you're okay. Maya's one of the OGs, so we're glad you're here. Although not one of my favorite horror movies by any means, the poster I love is First Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Halloween 78. Possibility those are on the list. I have some
that I don't like the movie, but the poster is kick-ass. So
you know what? I'm going to be completely honest with you.
What?
One of the movies on my list I think is one of the worst horror movies of all time, but I love the poster. William's here. How's it going, buddy? Horror Dads are the best. I'm not going to disagree with you, Mud. How you doing, buddy?
That's Gavin. Yep. What's up, Gavin?
And then Matt. There's Matt.
What's up, buddy?
The Horror Dads are my dads. Well, it looks like we're brothers because they're my dads as well.
That's Gabe. What's up, Gabe?
Fright Night is a fave. That may also be on the list or two.
Maybe.
Hey, Sierra, what's up? Thanks for coming out. We appreciate it. Ali's here. What's going on? Chris Marshall. What's up, buddy? Thanks for coming out. I knew it. Scream 2, best horror movie poster. Of course, J-Dev.
Scream 2 is everything.
J-Dev is Scream 2.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, man, I love romance. He'd be like, the best chick flick, Scream 2. You have the fat kid from Stand By Me singing I Think I Love You on its lunchroom table. So
I do not disagree.
The Mutilator 1985.
Oh, my God.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yep, some posters are better than the movies. I'm also watching for my Chromebook, so there may be some typos because I'm too lazy to make. I'm not too worried about it, Maya.
We'll figure it out.
I'm lucky I can read anyway. Yep, thank you for that. Jason Goes to Hell. There may be a Friday the 13th one on my list. So, okay, guys, we are going to start with our honorable mentions.
You know, secretive over here.
Yep. So my honorable mentions, the first one, Hellraiser is my first honorable mention. Demons to some, angels to others. They'll tear your soul apart. I love that so much. And then my other one is due out this year, and that is The Black Phone. I don't know what it is about this cover art right here, but I absolutely love this cover art. So those are the two for me that are honorable mentions. You want to pull yours up while I'm talking?
Sure. We're using our daughter's unicorn phone.
Yep. And I'm so excited for The Black Phone. I think that the excitement I have, I'm so bummed out that movie got pushed back from February to June, but it got pushed back right to Ashley's birthday on June 24th. So they did it so that we would have a reason to have an anniversary or a birthday date. Okay. So, and then Hellraiser, obviously a movie that I just love, and it's just almost so bland that it's amazing to me. He'll tear your soul apart as he's holding the lament configuration. I love that poster. So my honorable mentions are Hellraiser and The Black Phone. What about you, my love?
All right. So Pet Cemetery 2019. And then I have the Gremlins one. You can't really see it because it's so white.
That's so white.
Yeah. So I hated Pet Cemetery 2019, but the poster, seeing it before actually seeing the movie, totally got me like amped and ready for it, even though I was super disappointed. But I think like church being all creepy looking, and then like the kids with the animal masks on, which they would have like done something more with that. Like if we could have got a backstory on those kids, I thought that would have been pretty cool. And the creepy little girl. And then with Gremlins, it's super simple, but it's super effective. You see, you see him there.
Little Gizmo.
Gizmo, yeah, and what does it say on there? What does it say? Something about how they're.
What you see isn't always what you get.
Yeah, what you see isn't what you always get. So, he looks so innocent, and then he turns those monsters if you don't follow his rules. Yeah. So I think that's a pretty cool one too.
He has a couple babies. They're a little unpleasant. Yeah.
What about you, John? Do you have any honorable mentions?
I do. I thought I'd just start some shit right off the bat and see if I can blow up this chat here. So I went with the new Scream 5 poster as an honorable mention. When this came out, when this poster dropped, I was pretty excited for Halloween 2018. I was pretty excited for Halloween Kills, but the Scream Resurrection, I don't know what it was, like my intensity just amplified so much in excitement for that franchise to have another installment. So this poster didn't disappoint. Like, it's super dramatic, and I thought it was visually pretty stunning. And then I've got another newbie here as an honorable mention. Not totally new, but the VHS cover. I thought it was nice. Super clever because those are all, it's comprised of VHS tapes for those that haven't seen the cover or the film, but it's about alas, a VHS that's found. And the Ty West installment in that is good. It's good. I thought that movie was pretty creative in terms of found footage, and I dug the film. And I thought the Punisher-esque looking VHS amalgamation was pretty awesome. So that's why I went with that.
Awesome.
Yeah, those are great.
Legit. Do you have any honorable mentions, Jamie?
I do. So my first one is Dead Alive.
Dead Alive.
Sorry, let me get closer. So this is one of those movies that I don't even know the last time I've seen it. I just remember always browsing the VHS aisles, always seeing that, always being a little fucking creeped out. So that's one that's like ingrained in my brain. When you mention VHS, it's the first thing that comes to mind. And the tagline's amazing. Some things won't stay down even after they die. So it's a great one. I can't wait for a Blu-ray release on this movie.
That'll happen eventually.
And then my second one is a movie that everyone knows I love so much. It's Night of the Comet. And I just love this. Like, this poster is just amazing to me. Like, it almost has a I can't think of the name of the movie, but it reminds me of some other movies, but just the space theme and all the people looking up at the top of the picture there. It's amazing poster.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
And Night of the Comet's such a super underrated movie as well.
It is.
Doesn't get the love that it deserves.
Criminally underrated.
Yeah. So before we actually get into our top 10, we will go through the chat real quick. Marsh says Nightmare 3 is one of my favorites. I dig it. Someone better have Friday the 13th Part 4. Maybe on the list. Can't wait for the movie The Black Phone. Me neither. So stoked.
I'm really excited about that.
Jason X. Jason Goes to Hell. I'm not the biggest fan of either movie, but yeah, both posters are super dope. Honorable mentions are Scream and Urban Legends. Both good. Birthday's 2 days after you.
Nice.
Honorable mentions. Shockwave. You know what? Halloween 3, I'm going to tell you, it's not on my list, but I love that poster. That was one of the ones that I had to dwindle off the list.
I had it on my list and it went off.
Yeah.
Yep. Jeepers Creepers poster just with the bag and the eye is cool.
Yeah, it's creepy looking.
Honorable mention Sleepaway Camp. I actually love the Pet Sematary remake. There's just the trailer ruined that movie for me because it ruined my expectation of what I was hoping for it.
It could have been different.
Definitely could have been different.
That's all I'm good.
Yep. Honorable mention Saw 2 with the 2 fingers. I feel like this is also a harder list to make and talk about in the comments because a lot of these movies have different posters. I think that's the reason why we actually pulled our posters up so people can know exactly which poster we're talking about when we're going through because there are different cover arts, obviously. Honorable mention Sleepaway Camp, H Kills 2018, and Jason Takes Manhattan. J Dev, I Love Scream 2022 poster as well. Nightmare on Elm Street 84. The Ghostbusters original poster is one of my favorites of all time. And I think it is horror. I've always said Ghostbusters is a horror movie, so I could totally say that. I'm a huge fan of all the Saw posters, even if the movies suck. They don't. They're awesome. Yes, you do need to see it. We won't do any spoilers tonight, but we will be doing a spoiler talk soon, so you have to skip out on that one until you see it. Definitely watch it before you get spoiled. Yeah, most of the Nightmare, they completely are. Yeah,
Totally.
My boy J-Dub has seen Scream 2022 4 times already.
4?
Damn.
It's commitment, man.
That is commitment.
This boy likes to be sad. Freddy's Dead, bad movie. Love the poster. Yeah, you should see it before then. It's such a good movie. Dead Silence would definitely be an honorable mention for me if I were making a list. I remember seeing that cover at Blockbuster when I was younger. But I love that, the dummy with the. So, all right, now we will start with our number 10s. I forgot to say this at the beginning. When I said click on their link down here and you go to their podcast, make sure you're subscribing to their podcast and checking them out. They're amazing dudes, and the podcast is so damn good. And if you're here for the first time, hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you along for all the lives and all the videos that we have coming up. So, real quick, Mike's here. What's up, guys? I remember being so scared. Night of the Demons cover. I never rented it. I got a story just like that. God, I love that, Mike. All right, baby, you want to start us off with your number 10?
Yeah, number 10 for me is Evil Dead 1981. Love this cover. I love how she's reaching above as he's reaching and choking her out. They're each reaching for something. I just feel like that's super creepy and effective, and I definitely would want to see it.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely a grabber.
Yeah. No pun intended.
You want to give us yours, John?
Yeah. So my number 10 is the Lost Boys cover.
Yes.
So I had to go with this. This was 1987. And then how many times did we see this happen again in the 90s? This was like the original boy band cover photo where they stack like all, in descending order the characters. So Scream did this time and time again. Basically every Scream ripoff did this time and time again for showing off their ensemble cast. So had to go with Lost Boys. Absolutely love this movie. And the poster I always thought was super rad.
Awesome.
Great cover. What about you, Jamie?
Yeah, so this is the newest one I have on my list. It's from 2015. This is Killer Pinata.
Awesome.
And this is somebody that I think we all love. Stephen Tramontana directed this. Angry Mule is amazing. They're the production company that put it out. And one of our best friends in this world is Eliza Morris, who's the final girl in this movie. Had to include this on my list. Love this Pinata. He's cute and scary all at the same time.
Yeah. Totally dig it, man.
I think we have that pinata somewhere.
We
laying
have
around.
we do have that Blu-ray here, and we have that pinata here in our bedroom. So definitely love it. So you can see here, Sledgehammer Horror said, Ashley, that was pretty low for Evil Dead.
I knew you were going to have some sort of feelings about that.
But, however, my number 10 is Evil Dead. I was just trying to throw you off.
Oh, that's why you didn't cancel.
Right. So, Evil Dead, again, I love the poster. Not as much a fan of the movie. Now, when I say that, I know it sounds crazy. I love the Evil Dead franchise. I think the Evil Dead franchise is in my top 3 franchises, and I think the original Evil Dead film is my least favorite of the bunch. I love it, but when you're comparing these movies, it's the one that always is lacking for me. Evil Dead 2 is probably one of my favorite movies of all time. The Evil Dead remake is just so dark and bloody and twisted. Army of Darkness, I've quoted a billion times throughout my life. You know, shop smart, shop S-smart. This is my boomstick. Like, these are all things that have been so iconic in my own life. Mm-hmm. So, but the Evil Dead poster, the first one, I think is absolutely the best one. It's my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I think that in terms of Evil Dead films, the second one is obviously a very similar film to the first one, and they had budget, and they had, I wouldn't say more ambition necessarily, but they had, you know, the exposure to releasing something and getting feedback and interacting with the community to a degree. So, I get that, but yeah, the original poster is so awesome.
Oh, so great.
I would say that most of the time you like the original over the remake, and I think that it's different for you. Like, you like the remake more.
I do like the remake more than the
original.
I do, and there's a couple remakes that I like. Maybe this, you know, there's a couple remakes I like as much or more, but this is one that definitely stands out to me. But Evil Dead 2 I like more than the remake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And there go all of our listeners, because I have that opinion.
Well, you like the Texas Chainsaw remake more than the original?
I'm just not a fan of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I don't know what it is. And I'm also not a fan of Hellraiser. I'm sorry. I'm just going to piss everybody off here.
I agree with the Hellraiser. And I think the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise is like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Can't help but be honest. I noticed
there's some real clunkers in there.
Chat went silent. Everyone's logging off.
All right, we'll catch up the chat real quick before we move on. Love the Evil Dead poster. Don't love the movie. Exact same thing, Sean. Completely agree. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Iconic. That is a good poster with all of them on there.
Yeah,
that is a good one. J-Dev, thank you, buddy. I appreciate you so much. J-Dev, you've been doing this since day one, so buddy, thank you so much. We appreciate you, and it means a lot to both of us. Like I said, we'll have a new set here soon, and that's because of you guys. So thank you so much. Cardinal sin for horror fan, but only seen the Lost Boys once. Awesome poster. I don't believe there's any such thing as a cardinal fan or a cardinal sin. I hate gatekeepers in horror, man. So if you've seen it, you've seen it. If you haven't, you haven't. Does not measure the horror fan you are, Sean.
And I killed
I wish I'd only seen it once.
Yeah. I was going to say I killed the gatekeeper for Hellraiser and Texas Chainsaw. So
Number 9, that awesome poster for House on Haunted Hill 1959 with the skeleton and the girl.
That's a great one.
You know what's funny is I have that poster in my office. Not like my home office, my actual office.
Right.
That's such a great poster.
Yeah.
There's too many awesome posters I'm trying to pick, but I can't. I get it. It's
we
talked about this before we actually started recording. I think this is the hardest list we've ever done.
Mm-hmm. Just to narrow it down, there's so many great ones. It's really hard.
Yep, I love this one, the original Yellow Shining, and it says it on there. Maya has a shirt with that cover, the yellow with the face on it. That's a good one. The Thing poster from '82, John Carpenter's The Thing. The Prowler poster,
poster, Prowler.
Yeah, I know. When I read that, I was like, shit. Here's John getting canceled because I'm gatekeeping. I am with John on both of those takes. I am not a fan of Hellraiser either, John. Oh my God, you guys!
No, I see. Usually
I'm the only Hellraiser fan.
Yeah, but usually I'm the one getting attacked for not liking Hellraiser.
To be fair, those are 2 listeners of ours that came over here, so they've been listening to that for the past 2 years from us. So,
you've earwigged. You've earwigged them, man. They're just so used to hearing it. Krampus is another good one with a snow globe on
Yes.
the claw. That's a
I
great
had
one.
that
So
one on
good.
my list, but I took it off.
Maniac 1981. All right.
Oh, yeah.
So now we are at our number 9 on the list, and that will be John starting us off.
All right, so I had to go with one of the originals in the space here, the original Night of the Living Dead poster. So, and my cat has now made an appearance. She also loves Night of the Living Dead, as you can tell.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have this poster down here in the podcast space. My kids have been asking me questions about it for the past umpteen years. My oldest is 7. But yeah, this was always an impactful poster for me, and the film itself too. The fact that it's black and
Great
white,
film.
I also dig. And it has that iconic tagline of "They won't stay dead"
Mhm.
written on top. And I just love how it has so many of the characters interwoven in it. And yeah, that's so I got to go with this is my number 9. So the original Night of the Living Dead.
Perfect.
Nice.
Well, I'm a
Good
huge
one.
fan of that movie too. There's a remake that I like just as much as the original until the third act. The last 5 minutes of the remake takes it down for me. But
Yeah.
you want to give us your number 9, Jamie?
Yeah, for sure. All right, so the tagline for my next one is Eraserhead meets Night of the Living Dead on the set of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's a batshit crazy movie. It's street trash.
Never
Oh
seen
my God,
it.
dude.
So this movie is insane. It's definitely part of like the Trauma universe. It's really dirty and grimy. But the poster art is so like colorful and I don't
Every
know, I
neon
can't look
color.
away. And when you tell me, yeah, it really is. And when you talk about 80s horror posters, this is one of the first ones that come to mind for me.
Okay. And you say dirty and nasty, so is it like it wears crotchless panties and barks like a dog?
Dude, this movie.
Dude, it's dirtier than that if possible.
Okay, for those of you that don't know, that's a Halloween 6 reference, and we just had a huge conversation about this movie and that line last night, so that's why I had to drop that in there while I had horror dads on here. All day I was trying to figure out a way I could drop that line in here tonight, and that was just the perfect setup for it.
Yeah, you
There
found
it
it.
is. Perfect.
So my number 9, which I'm going to continue to get shit on here apparently. Who will survive and what will be left of them? The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I love this poster. You know, her hanging up, and that's one of my favorite taglines of all time. You're gonna pull up your number 9. I do love that tagline. It's up there on par with "In Space, No One Can Hear You Scream" as one of my absolute favorite taglines for a horror film. So, number 9 for me, the underrated and every horror fan's favorite Texas Chainsaw Massacre. What about you, baby?
Mine is Cloverfield.
Oh, good choice.
So,
Great one.
I mean, the Statue of Liberty's head is gone. Like, the greens make it look dark and gloomy, and you're just like, what the hell's going on? Like, that definitely makes you want to watch this movie and find out for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, that is my number 9.
It's a great choice.
Thank you.
That's a great pick.
That's great.
We'll catch up on the chat real quick. My number 1 most likely would be the Monster Squad, assuming you consider it a horror movie. Yes, I do.
Yes,
Definitely.
yes, for sure, man.
I consider it just like The Gate.
Yeah.
It's a gateway horror movie. It gets you into horror. You know, like that's totally Monster Squad for me. I really love the Reanimator poster. The Day of the Dead poster. Oh yeah, Bub is just fantastic. Great pick.
So good.
Number 9, the Terminator. Can't go wrong with Arnie. The best science fiction slasher of all time. Prom Night, 1981.
Yes.
Love that one, Nathan. The cover of Funny Games US DVD with Naomi Watts, a single I've never seen that. Have you seen that?
No.
Oof.
Have you guys seen that one?
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, we have. Yeah.
yeah. This is not a knock on the pick, but don't like plan on feeling happy for
Yeah.
any
Don't already be
period
sad.
of time. Yeah, because that movie is heavy as hell, and it puts you in a spot. Yeah,
Those are always fun.
yeah.
The Nest poster. It's about killer
Oh, the
roaches.
Nest. Yeah,
That's awesome.
that's a good one, man.
Oh, that's a great one. Love that movie. Yeah.
Reanimator from 85 with Wes holding that vial and Doctor's head on the desk. I thought we hard to come up with a list, but I keep thinking of posters I love. It 2017, The Absence of Color, the iconic yellow raincoat, and the red balloon. Forgot how cool the Cloverfield poster was. That's why another reason we wanted to do this, because John and Jamie are about the same age as me, a little bit older than Ashley. And this was our YouTube, guys. Like, and I'm not slamming anybody that's younger than us. Please, I'm not condescending or anything like that. But this is how we decided what we were gonna do.
Like, this looks pretty cool.
Yeah, this is how we decided what we were gonna rent. You know, we didn't have trailers at our fingertips, so we'd walk up and down the horror aisle looking at all these posters. And this is the cover art is how we determined it. So I think that's why it means so much to us. And having some of the younger people in here in the chat is so cool to me to know that you guys still appreciate cover art. God, I sound like a get off my lawn grandpa right now.
You totally
are. Yeah, we appreciate you guys coming out and sharing these picks with us. Jamie, you want to start us off with your number 8?
Yeah. All right. So this is actually a movie that I've never seen. It's from 1986, but the cover art is so amazing. It's Trick or Treat.
Okay.
Yep, the original Trick or Treat.
And the jack-o'-lantern with like who doesn't love 80s metal? So it's got the 80s guitarist playing with the fucking flames of the jack-o'-lantern. It's amazing. And the tagline on this one is what are you afraid of? It's only rock and roll.
Yes.
That's awesome.
What a great tagline.
That literally was like just like digging a knife into every mom in the United States in the 80s. Like, oh, you don't like metal? You don't like your kids listening to demons and watching horror movies? Well, here's
like
this.
horror?
That's fantastic.
So good.
So my number 8 sneaks up on you. It's the terrifying motion picture from the terrifying #1 bestseller, Jaws. Such an iconic poster, and this is one that I actually could have had a lot higher on my list, but the ones that I have on my list, they've influenced me so much more than what the Jaws poster did. The Jaws movie itself blows me away. It's still to this day one of my favorite creature features, but when it comes to the posters, I got it down at number 8. So you want to give us your number 8, love?
Yes. So, well, I gotta find it. Hold on. Mine is, you got it?
Yeah.
The Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984. Love this poster. I mean, it definitely is a nightmare with Freddy and his finger knives over a girl that's awake, but really in a nightmare. And the colors, it just looks like a nightmare. And I think it's awesome looking. And yeah.
If she doesn't wake up screaming, she won't wake up at all.
This is true.
Yep.
John, you want to give us your number 8?
Yeah, this one was mentioned in the chat actually, but I had to go with the original Reanimator. Got Dr. West here, and a little write-up that said Herbert West has a good head on his shoulders and another one on his desk, which really kind of sums up the movie because our buddy Herbert is totally nuts. I love the score in that film, how it's basically the score from Psycho, and Barbara Crampton's performance.
Oh God, yeah.
No one our age didn't watch that movie and just fall in love with her performance. So yeah, I had to go with Reanimator.
Awesome.
So we'll catch up on the chat real quick before we get to number 7. I like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 poster ripping off the Breakfast Club.
Mm-hmm.
Always love that one. I sent you a pic of my funny games. Okay, cool. I'll check that out, Maya. Thank you. Number 7, Creep Show with the creep in the ticket booth. Great pick. I love that pick.
Yeah.
That's got Ozzy playing a conservative commentator. Oh, in the one that Jamie had.
Trick or Treat, yeah.
Trick or Treat, yeah.
That's funny.
Awesome. Number 8, Texas Chainsaw 03. Silent Night, Deadly Night is up there. The Creep poster. Yeah, I love the Creep poster.
Yeah. That's a really good one. That's a great movie, too.
It really is.
It is, yeah.
Hey, what's up, Daniel? Thanks for joining us, buddy.
Hello.
Rosemary's Baby, simple but creepy.
So good.
Yep.
Mud agrees with you. And that's another one, though. Rosemary's Baby, that's just one that we'll talk about one similar to that here in a little bit. But I agree. Sometimes the simplest ones.
Simple is very effective.
Yeah, it just works.
Oh.
Halloween 78. Nathan.
It might be on somebody's list. Maybe.
Have any of you seen the poster for Blood Beach? It's one of my favorites. I have not, but I will look that up.
Yes. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, that is a great
Hereditary,
one.
my favorite elevated horror. Huh. I still like the Babadook more.
I mean, saying lines from something.
The poster for the audition was really good, and The Howling, awesome.
Oh yeah,
Howling is great.
I really do like Hereditary more. If you guys didn't catch the Babadook thing, that's from, I'm not going to say, it's from Scream 2022. That's what I was doing there. Sorry. I'm just not funny. So my number, right. So my number 7 has also already been mentioned in the chat, and that is the most fun you'll ever have being scared. Creep Show, the creep in the ticket booth. I'm gonna pull up your number 7.
Yeah.
It was that movie is so special to me because I really think that my love of anthology horror started with Creep Show, and anthology horror is still one of my favorite subgenres in horror. I love when you get a good anthology movie, Creep Show 2, Tales from the Hood. Like, these are all movies that are so special to me, and it really started with that for me, and it started with The Creep. So I'm gonna have to go number 7 with Creep Show. What about you, love?
And I'm sorry, Ken. I'm sorry. If I could just on the Creep Show thing real quick, the tandem there, having Stephen King and George Romero, like, as a kid, like, you just hear names and you're like, that's the most famous person that exists, right? Like, and growing up, like, as a horror fan, like, you heard names like George Romero, you heard names like Stephen King, and you're like, literally no one more important in our sphere. So getting that link up, and same with Christine, getting Stephen King and John Carpenter, like,
Yeah.
I wanted this so badly to be a thing. So sorry, I just had to throw that in there.
That's awesome, and you're right, and I don't think, and I think that's why Creep Show 3 was such a bomb, because it didn't get the love and support that 1 and 2 got, with the same direction and the same writing. So that's why I think 3 fell so flat for me in that as a film.
Mm-hmm.
So
I did not know there was a Creep Show 3.
Don't forget it. Let me Men in Black you. Look into this, please.
Yeah, no.
It's that bad, dude. It's fucking awful. So,
all right,
you want to give your number 7, my love?
Yeah. So speaking of Halloween, 1978. So I had to pull this in here because it's my favorite. Well, obviously not my number 1, but it's got the pumpkin, which represents Halloween, and then it says the night he comes home, which is chilling. And then you see his hand with the knife. You don't actually see Michael.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that it's a good poster, and stop shaking your head about my pick. Because I think it's good.
Because I think it's good. No, I get it. I love it. You want to give us your number 7, John?
Yep. I had to go with the early 90s Candyman, simply on reflection of the facts and the concept that Ken had alluded to of being a kid and walking through the aisles of the video store. And this was one I always had so many questions and curiosities about. My parents were like, not happening. We lived in Chicago at the time. Cabrini Green was a very real thing. So they knew all about the movie, and I was like, I want to watch this. And they were like, you're not watching this. Like, you're just not. So I had to wait to see it over a friend's house or whatever. But that was, of all of them, like, one of the top 2 or 3 that always stuck in my head the most as a kid growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like the story about it too, about, Cabrini Green being a real thing right there where you're from. So having that backstory as to why your parents were like, absolutely not. So
just not happening, bud.
You want to give us yours, Jamie?
Yeah, so my number 7 is from the year I was born, 1981, and it's Happy Birthday to Me.
Happy Birthday to Me.
Nice.
So this movie came to me late in life. I just saw it for the first time a few years ago. The tagline, I don't know if you saw it on the top. It says, John will never eat shish kebab again. This movie is so fun. It's twisty. It's got a lot of people say it's almost a little giallo-ish. This one's from Canada, and if you haven't seen it, get out there and get the Blu-ray's like $7 or something. So I would pick that up.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
So we will catch up on the chat real quick before we get into our number 6. American Werewolf was good too. Great poster, and me and you will be talking about that movie next week, buddy. Scanners poster. I was gonna say, Sierra, my copy of Audition has some beautiful art on the cover as well. Happy Death Day. I do love that poster, and that was one that I took off
Yeah.
right at the very end for Evil Dead. Actually, I took Happy Death Day off and put Evil Dead on before it. The Prey with the tagline, "It's not human and it's got an axe." Oh, good, T. Parker. I was hoping that's what you were alluding to. I bought Creepshow 3 on opening day. Biggest waste of $20 ever. Yeah. I remember you showing me that when you showed me your DVD collection. Number 7, Insidious. Simple but effective. Very good. Halloween 4 fooled us with that OG mask on the poster. Not a movie, but there's many Goosebumps. Oh, God. Goosebumps. So good.
So true, Gavin.
Yeah. I agree. With the OG
That's really
mask
funny.
on the cover. 7, the Jaws poster. The poster art for Parasite and Carrie 76. Parasite's a good one. The Haunted Mask and Night of the Living Dummy. It 1990. Yeah. The 3 UT movie posters were all cool. UT, I'm missing that one.
They might have meant it.
Oh, yeah. You're a lot smarter than me, Jamie. I would have been sitting here like, I grew up in the hood and I've been running rated R slashers in person since I was 10. That's awesome.
Nice.
The Tenebrae.
Oh, yeah, dude. I almost put that on my list, Gavin. That's a great one.
Yeah, that is an awesome one. So we are up to number 6, and that's you starting us off, my love.
All right. So speaking of Jaws, my number 6 is Jaws. Like you said, this is such an iconic poster. The colors of the water, it's really pretty, and it just goes in the fear of open water and like a monster in the water. With her swimming on top, and you see the jaws. So it's a cool poster in my book.
I love it.
Yeah.
Obviously, I like it too. So good choice. What about you, John?
Very good choice. I went with some prior number 10s here, which is the original Evil Dead poster.
Awesome.
Got to go with it. It's a classic. Illustrations, it's great, and it's cool that such a low budget film was able to, compile an illustration that is being talked about, 36 years later or whatever. Yeah, got to go with the original Evil Dead movie poster on that.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. What about you, Jamie?
Yeah, so I'm going to go with everybody's favorite summer camp movie right behind Ernest Goes to Camp, and it's Sleepaway Camp.
Knife through the shoe.
I mean, the poster is just, dude, the knife through the shoe with the blood and the lake water running down and the note above it. Like, it's a perfect poster. The tagline is, "You won't be coming home." Love this movie. Love that poster. Every time I pull the Blu-ray out, I look at it and I get excited.
Mm-hmm. And what an awesome movie too. And it's a shame that the movie is pretty much judged on the ending, because it's such a great movie. That whenever people talk about Sleepaway Camp, it always goes right to that ending scene, which is a crazy twist. But the whole movie's so damn good. It's a bummer that it's overshadowed by how crazy the ending is.
It's such a the journey of that entire film is so comforting to have on a particular time of year. It's just Jamie and I we don't like the endings of movies typically, simply because that means it's over and that we're not in that environment anymore. And time and place is everything, and we just love so much the feeling you get when you watch that movie. It's like, I can't wait to go cut the grass after this and then drink a Modelo while I'm grilling a piece of chicken outside. Like, that's what you want to do.
Exactly.
So yeah,
I want to play baseball in shorts that barely cover my balls and tell people to eat shit and live.
Eat shit and live. Yeah.
I love that.
It's the tiniest jean shorts.
So my number 6, a movie that I do not like at all, but New York has a new problem, and that is Jason taking a boat to Vancouver. Jason Takes Manhattan is such a fun poster. Like, the idea with the first time you see that poster, I was just like, no fucking way. Like, he's going to be in a whole city. Like, this is going to be insane, and we got that for a whole 18 seconds. But I do love the poster. I love the tagline. I love the idea of what that movie could have been. So number 6 for me is definitely Jason Takes Manhattan.
They're gonna
Before we
have
get to
7 seconds of Times Square in this movie. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I know, right? And it's funny because honestly, my favorite part of this whole movie is when he sees the punks and he takes his mask off, and all the punks are just like, and they'll start running away from him.
Yeah.
Like it's so cartoonish, but
Yeah.
it's such like my favorite part of the whole film.
Yeah. I think
All
my
right, guys, we'll
favorite's
catch
the
up on the
intro.
chat real quick. Anyone remember the green slime poster? I don't remember that.
Mm-mm.
You guys remember that one?
No.
No.
I'll have to check that one out, will you? Alien poster is simple but very effective. Like I said, it has. If we were doing our favorite taglines of all time, this would have been number one.
Yeah.
In space, no one can hear you scream. That's my favorite tagline to a film of all time.
So good.
Number 6, ginger snaps. Can I say
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Ashley's going to be a guest coming up on a podcast, guys. The House That Screams, talking about ginger snaps in an all-female episode. So I'm very excited for that. I'm so happy. I'm going to get to listen to my wife without sitting next to her, and it's going to be a really cool experience to listen to her do an all-female episode.
I'm excited.
This is so much
That's
fun.
awesome.
Thank you, Joe Rowe.
Yeah, that's
I love
amazing.
your name. Black Poster 1974. Yes. Love that. The Burning Poster. I love the movie. Hit and miss. Though Sleepaway Camp. Only seen it once a couple years ago from memory. I hated it. Found it too goofy. You know what? I can't speak for John and Jamie, but the first time I saw Sleepaway Camp, I didn't like it really either. But then I rewatched it, and I just every time I watch Sleepaway Camp, I love it more and more and more. Like you guys said, it's the perfect summertime get out and grill, just have fun movie to me. If you go into it looking for like a serious slasher, you're probably going to be disappointed. But if you go into it just looking to have a good time, I think it's such an amazing movie.
Yeah, and if you don't love The Burning, Sean, the odds of you loving Sleepaway Camp, like if Burning's hit and miss for you, Sleepaway Camp's probably gonna be hit and miss for you too.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they're in the same they're in the same canoe.
Yeah.
Good one.
That was I retire now.
They're in the same canoe with a snake coming out of the mouth. Maya says, speaking of Ernest, I love Ernest Scared Stupid poster. The Ernest franchise was fucking fun.
Yeah.
I love those movies, man.
Absolutely.
Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Yes. Such an amazing movie too. I'm glad it's finally getting a cult following and people are appreciating it and loving it.
Yeah.
And the poster's so good. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it. Hey, Art with Horror. What's up, buddy? Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate you. I was going to say that too, Ken. It's my favorite F-13 poster. Gotta love these. Yeah, for sure. Jason Takes Manhattan is so dumb, but a fun movie that has most rewatchability in the series. Oh, I appreciate that. I've never seen the movie, but Chud's got a pretty cool poster. Movie's okay.
Wait, Gavin, you haven't seen Chud?
Oh, Gavin,
send me your address, buddy.
John and I
on
love
Instagram.
fucking Chud.
I'm gonna drive you a copy tonight.
Uh-oh. Scary movie posters are all lit. Not gonna argue with that. Friday the 13th, when the kids in the camp inserted in the killer silhouette. Holographic Final Destination 2. The Gates of Hell poster, City of the Living Dead. Is it okay to like The Burning but not Sleepaway Camp? No. Nope. It's not bad.
It's not okay.
Yeah,
Not allowed.
It's so funny because I do have people that really gatekeep on this shit. And I'm like, dude, man.
You like what you like.
Yeah. If we all like the same shit, this would be boring as hell.
Yeah.
So absolutely. Let's couple more chats and then we'll get back to it. I love the Mandy poster. I do love that one too. John, get the car warming up, buddy.
Oh yeah, no, you got one coming to you, buddy.
The Nun, cool poster, terrible movie. Agree. Chud is so bad it's great.
Yeah,
All
exactly.
Right. So we are now up to our number 5, and that will be John starting us off.
All right, here we go. So this did come up earlier, and much like my Candyman selection, this movie, my parents were definitely not letting me rent it. If they weren't letting me watch what was happening in Cabrini Green, they did not want me to see what Angela had in store for her in Night of the Demons. But this is one of the films that this movie's insane, by the way. And the lack of like imagination that you're required to have to look at this and say like, oh, is this going to be scary? Because the cover is actually fucking terrifying. This
Yeah.
zombie crypt thing has snake on her head, and her teeth look they came out of a sarcophagus. And her nails are terrifying, and the typeface is terrifying, and she's holding an invitation. So, dig this movie, but this poster art has been literally following me around for years.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that you're right. When you think about that movie, the first thing I think about with Night of the Demons is that poster. Like I'm literally looking at a picture of hell.
Right.
Yeah.
Great choice, man. What about you,
Good
Jamie?
one. Yeah, so my next one is super simple, yet very effective, and it's Poltergeist
Yes.
They're here.
from 1982. This is just one of those movies that are fucking timeless. The poster itself, with all the black space, and then tells you everything you need to see with her with the hands against the TV. I mean, if you've seen the movie, it tells you so much. I love this movie. I love the poster.
One of the scariest PG horror movies of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, that would never be PG now.
Not in a
dude.
million.
Not
That
in
tourist,
like
Poltergeist and Tourist
No.
Trap are the two PG horror movies that fucking ruined me, man. Like those movies
So
scared
ridiculous.
the shit out of me.
how could you read the synopsis for Tourist Trap and even think like P anything?
Yeah.
Other than parental be worried. Yeah.
Dude, the first time I saw Tourist Trap was on Fox 36 Toledo at 1:00 in the afternoon, and I was like, "They're playing this on TV. This shit's scary as fuck." Like, it scared me, man.
Is this legal? Yeah.
so
Tourist Trap's scary one.
Number 5 for me. Sorry, Jack. Chucky's back. Child's Play 2. It's another
So
one
good.
that just like, yeah. The minute you see that poster, that's another one that I think of the movie. The minute that, or I think of the poster right when I think of that movie. You know, it's such an iconic poster. My daughter has that poster.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so like it's just that's one that really means a lot to me personally. So number 5 for me is Child's Play 2.
Okay, number 5 for me is Fright Night, 1985.
You're so cool, Brewster.
Okay, I think
Fright
it's
Night.
Brewster that's like in the window while I think it's Brewster or Brewster. And I love that there are some good reasons to be afraid of the dark.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the vampire over the house in the clouds, and the art is phenomenal, and it's a really creepy, awesome looking poster.
Mm-hmm.
And a good
Mother
movie.
says dinner is in the oven. Like, funny story. They are actually working on Tom Holland is writing
Yes.
Fright Night Resurrections is what it's going to be called, and it's going to take place. It's going to ignore Fright Night 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a direct sequel to the original, and they're going to resurrect Jerry Dandridge. And he's trying to get the original cast to come back. I was like, dude,
Like,
yes,
let's do this. Yeah.
please, God,
Amazing.
So, yeah, Fright Night. You know, the requel thing is going to really take off, I believe, with Halloween 2018, and now Scream, 5 completely dominating the box office. I'm hoping that that'll get us some more requels of movies that we love, like Fright Night. Seeing that original cast come back and do that again, I think would be absolutely fucking phenomenal.
That'd
So,
be awesome.
Yeah, all right.
We actually did an episode on movies that never got a sequel that should have had one.
Yeah.
And we actually wrote like plot lines of what would happen in those sequels. So Tom Holland made more than one appearance on that list. So Tom, we know you're watching. You can use whatever ideas you want. You can have them.
Yeah. We really just need to get that Fright Night Resurrections. Because like I said, I love the original Fright Night. I think it's one of my favorite vampire movies, if not my favorite. So to see, and to see Jerry Dandridge come back.
That'd be amazing.
Like just to see him, like come around that corner again. Like, oh, it'd be so great.
Mm-hmm.
So before we go on, let's, that is the end, right? We all did our number 5s. Yep, because Jamie will start number 4. So let's catch up on the chat real quick. Maya says that, nope, sorry, unforgivable, not allowed. Talking about liking Sleepaway Camp over the burning over Sleepaway Camp. But she's just kidding. Number 5, Freddy vs. Jason. 2 iconic I like that. I didn't even think about that one. That would be a really good one. If you got the two of them together, yeah, that'd be dope.
We may talk about that one.
Oh, really?
Really?
Mandy is awesome. Number 5, Happy Birthday to Me. Number 3, boring movie, but fun movie poster, The Wasp. Woman with the Tag, A Beautiful Woman by Day, A Lusting Queen Wasp by Night. I've never seen that one.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah,
now.
that sounds great.
A lusting, yeah.
A Lusting Queen Wasp. Night of the Demons is my top 5 horror movies. Great choice. I was eating a dark chocolate Santa. It was super hard. When I bit down, it came back and hit me in the face. Oh, well, that sounds like a whole lot of fun, Maya. Last Night in Soho. We still haven't seen that movie. We've got to see Last Night in Soho because everybody talks about that film. Return of the Alien, super rare find, amazing cover. You all have some really great picks for posters. Thank you, Matt. Coming from you, that means a lot because you know what the fuck you're doing in that. So thank you so much, sir. Not sure it's the OG, but there's a Sinister poster I like a lot. Is it the one where they're walking against the wall,
blood,
spreading the stuff? Because that's a really good one.
Great one.
I prefer Fright Night, the remake, over the first one. I like Anton Colin Farrell and the English guy better as Peter Vincent, and I prefer that there's no comedy in it. That's fair. I mean, if you're more of a fan of horror than horror comedy, I could see that. Me personally, horror comedy has always been it for me. So I respect the opinion. I respectfully disagree with you, Sean. I'm definitely a much bigger fan. I think Jamie really disagreed because he just left. He's like, nope, I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah, Jamie's just gone.
He's out.
You still with us, Jamie?
Maybe.
While we're waiting for Jamie, with the podcast, let's talk about the podcast a little bit. Anybody that joined us that wasn't here at the beginning, make sure you guys are clicking the link down here in the description. I have their website, which has their podcast, also has links to these amazing shirts. And another great thing that we didn't talk about off the top is when you do an order with Horror Dads, it's all made and shipped by them, and not only by them, but by the horror kids that created the Horror Dads themselves. So you'll get some amazing art in your ours is hanging on our fridge.
It really is.
The kids do a little art and they put it in the package for you. Can you talk about how that started, John?
Yeah, for sure. So really, Matt Peppler, who's on this thread, we were working with him to talk about getting a little shop off the ground, and he was providing some guidance for us. And he was like, "Hey, you guys should make a Patreon." And he was like our first patron, and he really kind of like bullied us into just like, no, just what is it going to cost you? Like $30 a month and a couple $100 to like invest in some merch. Just fucking do it, right? So he sort of like tipped us over the edge there, and we did just some research on like the print to order thing versus kind of doing it ourselves with a local printer, packaging and shipping ourselves, and then that way we have the human touch with it too. So we really customize every order, and our kids love it. Gives Jamie and I another reason to hang out together. Gives our wives another reason to be mad at us, spending time not parenting. So yeah, it's great.
Awesome.
We parent. We put the kids to work.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they make their
for sure.
Well, we pay them a high premium
in cookies.
Cookies.
I've been putting money in the.
Wives happy too. Candy and cookies.
Yeah.
All sugared up. Go
we
hang
can
out
pawn them back off on them.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Exactly.
And I love it. Like I said, I love the fact. Like I said, we have the cover art that you guys sent us. The coloring. We got that hanging on our fridge, and the shirts are amazing. So I wanted to thank you guys for that. Real quick before we get back to Jamie's pick, I have my Horror Dad shirt on right now too.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Love it.
Oh, Horror Experience with Lily. Hey, thank you for coming on. The People Under the Stairs is a favorite poster of mine.
I didn't even think of that one. I literally have a shirt of that on. That's
one of Ashley's favorite movies.
I'm
surprised that's not on your list.
I know.
Wow, that's crazy.
I got too entwined in this, and I forgot things.
Yep.
My brother just knocked on the door to make sure I didn't fall asleep in the bathtub. At least you got a brother that cares about you. Man, Maya, you're living the life right now. Sitting in the bathtub eating dark chocolate Santa Clauses, watching this beautiful lady and these handsome gentlemen. That's an amazing Wednesday night. Wednesday?
It's Wednesday.
Wednesday night. Yes. 2 Block Sunday, 1960, with that spooky artwork of Barbara Steele looking right at you with those crazy eyes.
That's a good one.
Maya, don't be sorry. We're all here to have fun.
Yeah.
We love it to death. So now we are up to our number 4. and that'll be Jamie starting us off.
All right, so mine is one that we've already seen. Fright Night.
Yes.
Couldn't agree with you more, Ashley. Love this movie. Love this poster. I love how we sort of see like Amy in the clouds above. I dig the whole thing. So one of my most favorite. This is a movie that John and I, we used to drive back from Chicago, and we would always put it on our phone, like in the middle console, and we would just like drive home from Chicago watching. That was always like how we started our trip. So it holds a special place in both of our hearts.
That's what we do that too.
Yeah, we do that same
We
thing.
did
That's
when
so
we went
funny.
to
Yeah.
Salem, we just put on movies and like he would listen because he doesn't let me drive. But
Right? Yeah. Perfect.
I value being alive.
I'm a good driver.
So number 4 for me. I love this so much. I also have a t-shirt of it. It's bland, but it's also one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie, and that is The Exorcist. I love this cover art. I love the scene in the movie when you have him walking up to the house and all the fog is rising and you can just feel the dread. We talked earlier about you guys weren't able to watch John because of Cabrini Green and the cover of Night of the Demons. I grew up with a very, very liberal mother. And I grew up in a video store. My parents owned a video store at our town. And The Exorcist is the first and only movie that Wendy Braun shut off and was like, we're not doing this. This is too scary for you. And I was like, oh, whatever. You know, I was like, I got to watch this movie. I have to watch this movie.
And then you ended up in our bed that night.
Yeah. And I ended up watching it eventually. And I was like, I didn't have to watch that. That ruined me. So, my mom, God rest her soul, she was a very liberal when it came to things, but The Exorcist was one where she was just like, yeah, this isn't going to happen. It's
funny. My parents did let me watch The Exorcist, but not Candyman, because my household was not religious growing up, and they were like, "Oh, this will teach them something about religion." Here we go. So the power of Christ compelled me, certainly after watching that film as a child. So yeah, it's a good one.
Awesome. Yeah, so for me, definitely The Exorcist, and I still to this day think it's the scariest movie ever made. Not my favorite even in its own franchise, but I think it's the scariest movie ever made. So you want to give us your number 4?
So funny enough, my number 4 is also The Exorcist.
Look at that. Love.
Yeah. So like you said, I like how it's simple, but super effective. There's an important character and he's all in black, but then you have that light that kind of like shines to the left, like making it kind of creepy and edgy, like what's over there. And I think it's a pretty cool poster. So yeah.
For sure. All right. John, you want to give us your number 4?
Well, speaking of love, Jamie, I love you.
Look at that.
Fright Night. I mean, I don't have enough positive things to say about this film. It makes suburbia, where Jamie and I grew up, feel unsafe, and it creates connectivity with characters that make. Because you know when you're a kid and you see like a teacher of yours in the grocery store, and you're like, oh my God, you're a human being. This is insane. Like your mind as a kid is like this big, right? So this
you
film,
eat chicken nuggets?
I know, it's like, what you eat?
I do that too.
This movie for me was the explanation and the definition of like, hey, something could be up in suburbia. The Burbs did that. This did that. And any movie that does that still to this day, Summer of '84, like you put me in that environment, Disturbia, like I'm in. I'm so in just based off the setting alone. Monster Squad, I know that was brought up earlier. So I got to go with Fright Night. Love this film. Love that poster art so much.
It's a good one.
When you talk about a movie you just talked about, though, which I feel is very underrated for how fun it is, and it has one of my favorite endings of all time, Summer of '84. I love the ending of that movie. We're not going to talk about it, obviously, for people that haven't seen it. But if you haven't seen Summer of '84, it's streaming either on Shudder or Amazon Prime right now. And such a great movie. Like you said, it's very nostalgic, but I love the ending. I know a lot of people, it turned them off. I love the ending of this movie. It scared me. The ending really
it's a little shocking. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a shocking twist of an ending there.
Yep.
Don't watch that and Funny Games in the same evening, because you'll never love again.
All right, so before we get to our bronze medal, let's go catch up with the chat. Shaheem, Bride of Chucky and Tiffany's face down poster. Yes,
That's a good one.
that is really good. The classic Drew Barrymore Scream poster,
Yeah.
the Burning poster, Fright Night poster, basic but nice, absolutely. The only one way to get through isolation: dark chocolate Santas in a bubble bath.
Sounds nice.
All-time favorite poster, German Silver Bullet, very nice. We need to work together. Hit me up on social media. I've been wanting to work with you for a while. I love your channel. So if you get a chance, hit me up. I'd love to work with you. Exorcist, very good poster. I know it's not horror, but John Carpenter, Big Trouble in Little China, I do love that poster. See, if we're talking about our favorite posters of all time, mine wouldn't even be a horror one. It would be Back to the Future. I think Back to the Future is probably one of my favorite.
It's a good one.
It's my favorite movie of all time.
Right.
So that's one that I just absolutely love. The They Live poster. I've never seen the movie. Oh, you gotta see They Live. It's such a good movie.
Oh yeah,
Great poster too.
Yeah, great
Yep.
poster, great movie. My mom has PTSD from The Exorcist 2. She tried to get me to validate her fear, but I couldn't even finish it. I thought it was kind of boring, which is fair. I know a lot of people feel that way. Which poster on your list is your favorite movie? I can't answer that because
I was gonna say we should answer that at the end. I think that's a great
at
question.
the end we'll answer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write that down, Joe, so we can answer that at the end. Because we haven't gotten to mine yet. Everybody in the chat that watches these knows what mine's gonna be, but still.
I totally know.
Friday the 13th, Part 4. Not going to be on your list, but the Summer of '84 poster, yeah, it's a great poster too. Suspiria, the gate with the claws reaching out of the ground. Oh, that was on my list. I'm telling you right now. And Jamie, I took it off last night after we were done talking, but I had to put the black phone on over top of that. That was on my list.
If we hadn't talked about it last
night,
night, it was going to be on mine. Yeah.
One more I'd say is the new Jordan Peele poster for Nope. I'm very excited to see that.
I mean, it's super simple, but it's intriguing for sure.
And it for sure, without knowing anything, you see Jordan Peele, Nope, and the kite, and you're just like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm way in.
Yeah, me too.
There's so many good ones on the list and that's the thing about this list that was so hard.
Yeah, it was.
I bet you don't. We had this talk before we started. I don't think you do. Return of the Living Dead Part 3. Very nice. So now we are up to our bronze medal, and that is me starting. So this was mentioned earlier. My number 3, House on Haunted Hill.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Yes, I love this poster. I think this poster is phenomenal. The skeleton hanging the girl with the noose right there, I think is such a good effect. And Vincent Price is almost the minor part of the poster, which is unheard of because he said, it's Vincent Price. But really your focus goes to the skeleton and the girl. And I love the cover art on that. I think it's so phenomenal. And I love the movie. We own the movie. We love the movie. So number 3 for me is House on Haunted Hill, the original.
Nice.
My number 3 is the Poltergeist.
Oh.
I feel like the taglines itself, like they're here and it knows what scare you is really all you need. And it's like, but it's really simple also, but like, a black room with it being lit up by just the TV and a little girl sitting in front of it with her doll. It looks creepy and uneasy. It makes you feel uneasy. So I think it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. What about you, John?
Great pick. My third place is the Black Christmas poster, the original Bob Clark film from the 70s here. I mean, that image in the film itself, let alone on the poster, it's one of the most horrific images, being surrounded by something that's supposed to be the most joyful time of year. And you've got Holly encapsulating this body that's being candlelit with plastic wrap over the head as they're in their rocking chair. So literally the most opposite images that are supposed to evoke the most opposite of emotions are present here. So this is quite the impactful poster and quite an impactful movie.
When you have that juxtaposition, it makes it so much more fun to make your brain think that way. You know, like I love that.
Yeah.
So I completely agree with what you're saying there. What about you, Jamie?
Yeah, so my number 3 is it's maybe not my favorite Fred Dekker movie, but Fred Dekker's got too many good ones. The good news is your date's here. Bad news is he's dead.
Yeah.
Night of the Creeps
Night
from
of the Creeps.
1986. One of my favorite movies of all time. The poster is one of my favorite scenes with the date showing up. There's not too much to say about this movie. It's an amazing little slice of the 80s. One of my favorite Tom Atkins movies. So, and there's a lot of great Tom Atkins movies. So that's saying a lot.
That guy, anything he touches turns to gold, in my opinion. Love Tom Atkins. Obviously, we're talking about Night of the Creeps. You could also bring up Halloween 3, and even more recently, My Bloody Valentine 3D. I think he was great in that as, the sheriff in that. So, yeah,
Maniac
Tom Atkins
Cop.
What's that?
Maniac Cop is a great one as well.
Maniac Cop.
Yeah.
So that is all our number 3s, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. I will catch up on the chat real quick. Are you guys fans of Shaun of the Dead? Poster? Yes. Movie? Hell fucking yes. This is one of the movies that I had on a disc that had Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz on it. And I would watch this every single night before I'd go to bed. I love Shaun of the Dead. It's one of the horror movies that legit made me cry like a fucking baby, with the Barbara scene at the bar. I can't say enough good things about Shaun of the Dead, poster and movie. I think that it's one of the best horror comedies. People call it a spoof movie. I've never looked at that as a spoof movie. I think there's so much originality to that film that it's just, to me, a horror comedy, and I am a huge fan. What about you, Love?
Yeah, I love it too.
Just fantastic movie. What about you, gentlemen?
Yes, all of what you just said. Totally in.
How
on
about
Shaun
you,
of the
Sammy?
Dead.
What was the question? I'm sorry.
Are you a fan of Shaun of the Dead?
Oh, yeah, I love Shaun of the Dead. Yeah, I love Hot Fuzz as well.
Mm-hmm. Both of them are so good.
Yeah, so good.
Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 is number 3. T. Parker's number 3. Looks like a film noir poster. It really does. Like, you get that Dick Tracy type feeling from that, like a horror version. Dang, really, Ken? Well, House has a great poster. House has a phenomenal poster.
Amazing poster.
Just not my number 1. Return of the Living Dead 3 is fire. Yes. Number 3, The Thing poster. Number 3, Jennifer's Body. Man, I hated the marketing for Jennifer's Body because I never watched that movie because I thought it was going to be lame because the marketing and the trailers were so bad for that movie. But the movie is so damn good, and it's so off what you think it's going to be about. Like, it's a bummer that it got the marketing it did. I just watched Night of the Creeps earlier today. Matt, I like you more and more every time you say something. I like you more and more. I love that Shaun of the Dead poster with Simon's head among the other zombies. Yes. I would like you to know that I really needed this stream today. I've nearly forgotten about my COVID situation. I'm so glad we could help you out, Maya. Yeah. And I'm glad that you and your family are doing okay. I actually got to physically watch Maya take her COVID test, and it was so uncomfortable for me to watch. And like, I wanted to be there and hold her hand. Maya's like our daughter. Like, she's our little buddy, man. And I wanted to be there and like hold her hand as she was getting it. Like, it's such a bummer, but I'm glad that you are okay and your family's okay. Be sure to like the video, everyone. Great content. Thank you, Johnny. I appreciate that. And the YouTube algorithm gods agree. Please make sure you like this video and subscribe because pushing that algorithm is a whole lot of fun for us. So we appreciate that. Video violence poster is my number 2. Loved this tonight. Thank you. That horror couple. What's up, guys?
Hey, guys.
This is another YouTube channel that we're big fans of, and they're actually moving right now across the country. So I hope the move is going good for you guys. That horror couple, I think you would love Horror Dad. So make sure you're clicking that link and subscribing to their podcast. You will absolutely enjoy what they have to say as well. So number 2 starts with you, my love.
All right. Number 2 is Insidious. Oh, wrong way. Insidious. I just think it's super creepy. He looks like almost like he's possessed because he is.
Little Dalton.
Yeah, and he has like the words Insidious and IS like in his eyeballs.
Mm-hmm.
And you just know that something supernatural is happening with this kid, and I think it's really cool looking. So that is my number 2.
And I'm very excited for that film coming out this year.
Oh,
The
me
Dark
too.
Realm.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah. Same.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
What about you, John? What's your number 2?
I went with a more classic. It's already been talked about quite a bit here, but I went with Jaws, the original. So Ashley had mentioned the concept, and like it's interesting to see how much comically larger the shark head is to the body.
Yeah.
Like the shark head is legitimately like 40%
Like
of
half the body.
of the frame. Yeah. But yeah, this movie, talking about PG movies that probably shouldn't have been PG. There's one specific scene in this film that probably should have nudged it over from the PG realm. But yeah, this film's amazing. The book's amazing, and you know the poster to accompany it. It's incredibly simple, and it really encapsulates exactly what the film's about, and through just one quick visual. So all about it.
Great choice.
Yeah.
Great.
What about you, Jamie?
All right, so my number 2 has also already been on the list. It's Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to really reiterate what Ashley already said because she nailed it. But growing up, for me, like this was one of those posters I couldn't get away from. You know what I mean? Like being like a 3-4-year-old kid when this was out in the world, it was just like like please, like I need to avert my eyes. And then like 3 years later, I had a Freddy doll. So, but this was what started it all and started the fandom. And I don't know. I love the poster. I love the movie.
Awesome.
I've gone on record many times saying that A Nightmare on Elm Street is the closest you can get to a perfect movie.
Yeah.
The only reason it's not a perfect movie is because
What?
Why
Is it the car? The Freddy car?
the dumb fucking Freddy car at the end and the blow up down mom gets pulled through the window is the only thing that stops this from being a perfect movie.
The dumb fucking Freddy car.
Like,
Yeah.
you don't know how much he bitches about that car, and I'm just like, okay, we get it. You don't like the car.
Well, you
Well,
know
I
they
think it's
filmed
because
like
it's-
19 endings, and they were like, "Which one are we gonna use?"
Yeah.
And someone just got done like smoking something and was like, "We're gonna do the car, and then we're gonna
Like,
pull the
let's
mom
do
out of the window." Yeah.
We're doing it, guys. We're gonna do it.
There's gonna be this guy that is gonna consistently bitch about this for 36 years. Put it in the film, man.
And his wife has to deal with half of that.
That's crazy. We've been together for half my life.
We have.
That's crazy. Anyway, number 2 for me, as if anybody didn't know,
If it's not your number 1, I know it's your number 2.
it's my number 2. Ding Dong, You're Dead, House. Obviously my favorite horror movie of all time. In the running for my favorite movie of all time. This movie means so much to me, and the first time I had seen this cover art, the reason I watched this movie the first time, my grandmother was like, hey, we're not going to watch Ghostbusters anymore. So let's go and let's find a different movie for you to watch. So we went to my parents' video store, and that's what I picked. I saw the hand, and I was like, that looks so cool. And it was just academic from there. Like, I watched that movie so much, I literally wore out the VHS. My parents had to buy another VHS copy of this to keep in the video store. And it still means a lot to me to this day. It's a movie I probably watch once a quarter, so at least 4 times a year. So number 2 for me, House, for sure.
Have you talked to Steve Miner about being on the show yet?
I've tried to get in contact. I haven't gotten a response yet.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I would love to see him on your show, and yeah, he's great. Everything he does is great.
Phenomenal. So phenomenal.
Yep.
Yeah. So you started us off with that one.
I did.
So we will be going to our number 1s now. But before we do that, let's catch up on the chat. Number 2, Halloween Kills. Michael looks so angry and badass. I do love how his mask looks.
Yeah.
In the Halloween Kills one too.
It looks amazing.
Agreed.
Let's see. Going to subscribe now. Thank you, Ken. Awesome. That horror couple. And you guys will love Horror Dads. They're so great. Mm-hmm. Thanks for welcoming me to the Sledgehammer Horror family. Love you guys. I also followed our guests on Instagram when you announced their stream a little while ago. Good. Maya, you will not regret it. They are awesome. Too, and we love you too.
Thank you.
Catherine Newton and Vince Vaughn's Freaky. That is a great cover.
Yeah, that is a good
That's
one.
such a good one. And I love
Yeah.
that movie too.
Yeah, we watched that a couple of times.
Number 2, Friday the 13th remake. The Exorcist is
Good
a
one.
favorite poster of ours.
Yeah.
That's been on the list. Why won't you let me go down?
What are you doing?
I don't know.
Oh.
Love this channel. Great guests. Ken and Ashley are so down to earth. Thank you.
Thanks.
We appreciate that. And we love the fact that if anybody goes to see the guest, if you listen to their podcast once, we've done our job. Because once you listen to it once, you're going to want to listen to it more. So thank you for tuning in and checking them out. It means a lot to us.
Thanks, Joe.
Rob says, what's that, guys?
I was just saying thank you to Joe.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. He's great. Rob says he loves the original Hellraiser poster too. Love the Coraline poster. I love the Coraline. Is such a beautiful.
Oh yeah,
bright,
even the movie itself is
such a bright
very,
and beautiful
very
movie.
artistic and
That's a great one.
yeah.
The Mutilator is the best poster ever. Amazing choice of colors. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. What a good poster.
Yeah, so good.
I knew it had to be up there. Oh, thanks, guys. Thanks so much for your support to the much support to Horror Dads as well. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
That means a lot. I know you guys are moving across the country right now, so once you get settled in, let us know. We'd love to work with you guys again, and thank you so much. I 100% agree with you, Ken, on Nightmare on Elm Street being so close to perfect film, but the dummy mom ruined it. The damn car. Yes, T. Parker. Yes. Love it. Has everyone got the chance to see Scream? Thought that was a good poster. All right as well. We have seen Scream. We have a rule here that until something is released on physical media, we will not talk about it on the channel at risk of spoiling it for other people. But Johnny, I agree with you. We both liked Scream a lot.
We did.
We will be doing a spoiler review for the film. That's the only way we will talk about it, unless it's not, and that'll be next weekend. But we make it known ahead of time. It's going to be a spoiler review, so people that haven't seen it will not join the chat. So, but I'm glad you liked it, and I did like the poster as well. Gonna take Skippy. All right, Skippy. You can see Skippy on the post on the picture right here.
Have a good night.
Thanks for joining us, William. You're always good. And I hope Skippy has a great walk, and I hope you have a great night, buddy.
Take care, William.
I definitely thought they were horror dads who were married, but I don't think that's the case. Nope. They're married. They're brother-in-laws.
Yeah.
Hey, Gory. What's up, buddy? Gory Bits is one of our favorite YouTube channels. Thank you for stopping in, buddy. That means a lot to us. Never even heard of House?
Ken's gone.
No, Sean, you definitely. It's my favorite horror movie, man. It's the first one I ever watched. I can't recommend it enough. It's everything. It's a love story. It's a comedy. It's a horror. It's a Vietnam War story.
You could go on about this for like
I could talk
4
about this
hours.
movie forever. It's a missing child story. Like, dude.
Yeah,
you gotta
Sean,
watch this.
the same person that directed Friday the 13th Part 2 and 3, and also Halloween H2O, made that movie. So if you dig those films, you'll dig this too. And it's batshit crazy. The practical effects are insane, and it touches every emotional nerve that could be in your body.
Everybody's favorite Jason, Kane Hodder, is in the movie as well as Big Ben. So that's another. Like there's so much to love about House. Sean, please check it out. Text me. Let me know what you think of it, because man, that's also on Prime or Shudder right now for free streaming. So make sure you're checking that out. Let me know. Come on, baby. We got the horror dads, and now we got the horror dog. Molly's in here. We can't wait to work together. It's getting good, thank God. I haven't seen the new Scream poster yet. Check it out. It's awesome. It's vintage. It's original. It looks cool. I love this new Scream poster. Thanks for being spoiler free. I haven't seen Scream yet. Of course, buddy. I'm glad we didn't ruin that for you. To add to this conversation, the poster for In Search of Darkness documentaries are amazing. Very nice.
That's a
Totally
really
agree.
good one. Yeah.
Totally agree.
Toxic Avengers, an honorable mention. Love that.
Yeah.
They are married, just not to each other.
Right.
Absolutely. I hadn't heard of House either until I met you, Ken. You know what? If I educated anyone on House, I've done my job as a man. Now, as always, when we get to our number one, John, you'll start us off. All we ask for the people that came in late to the chat, if you wouldn't mind, John, read us your honorable mention all the way down to your number one, so the people that hadn't heard the beginning can hear where we started off.
No problem. My first honorable mention was the new Scream poster from the 2022 Scream. My second honorable mention was the VHS movie poster. Number 10 for me was The Lost Boys. Number 9 for me was the original Night of the Living Dead. Number 8 for me was Reanimator. Number 7 for me was the original Candyman. Number 6 was The Evil Dead. Number 5 was the original Night of the Demons. Number 4 was Fright Night. Number 3, the original Black Christmas. Number 2, Jaws. And number 1 is a film, when I said there were 3 movie covers that always haunted me, one being Candyman, the other being Night of the Demons. This was the other that I always had so many questions about, but it's the movie cover for Dead Alive.
Dead Alive.
So, Jamie, I know you picked this one already as an honorable mention. So go to hell for not liking it enough to make it in your top 10. But yeah, so this movie, I enjoy the movie a lot. I actually didn't see it till I was in college. I was a freshman in college, and I went to Kent State University in Ohio, and they had like the big rec center for whatever reason. They were doing a movie night there, and this is what they played. So I was a freshman in college, awkward as hell with other awkward freshmen. Go in, we watched this insane movie, and I was so thrilled to like be able to experience the movie for the first time in that capacity. It was a lot of fun. And I enjoyed the movie, and the poster's still rad, and I love it. So that's why I went with that as my number 1.
Awesome.
Great choice.
Nice choice.
What about you, Jamie? You want to go from honorable mentions up to number 1?
Yes, sir. All right, so I started off with honorable mentions were Dead Alive, as John just mentioned, is his number 1, and Night of the Comet, which could have been my number 1. I just had to leave it off the list. My number 10 was Killer Pinata. Number 9 was Street Trash. Number 8 was Trick or Treat from 1986. Number 7 was Happy Birthday to Me. Number 6 was Sleepaway Camp. Number 5 was Poltergeist. Number 4 was Fright Night. 3 was Night of the Creeps. Number 2 was the original A Nightmare on Elm Street. And my number 1 is a horror movie poster that is just so iconic. There's no way it could not be my number 1. It is Friday the 13th.
Nice.
I think the silhouette with the cabin in the background is just like, I don't know, like I said, it's the most iconic image to me. I always set it as my background from like April on like all my devices, and I just love it. What else can you say about Friday the 13th?
Right. Yeah, it's what an amazing poster.
Mm-hmm.
One of the first cover arts I actually fell in love with. So that could have very well been on my list. Well, let's my honorable mentions up through number 1. Honorable mentions: Hellraiser and the Black Phone, 10 Evil Dead, 9 Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 8 Jaws, 7 Creep Show, 6 Jason Takes Manhattan, 5 Child's Play 2, 4 The Exorcist, 3 House on Haunted Hill, 2 House, and number 1, Tardy to the Party, made it a little bit higher on my list than everybody else's, A Blank Screen. Fright Night, baby.
Nice.
It's got to be my number 1. I was hypnotized the first time I saw that poster. I was just in shock. I was blown away. To this day, every time I look at that cover art, I get those nostalgic vibes and the little emo goosebumps because, the poster scared me so bad as a kid because there's so much to digest when you're looking at that poster. You got Amy in the clouds. You got the person in the house. You got all the demons that are coming off of her, the vampires that are coming off of her. So there's just so much going on. And on top of it, it's such an amazing movie. So number 1 for me had to be Fright Night. So
nice.
You want to give us your honorable mentions up to number 1?
Yes. Honorable mentions were Pet Sematary 2019 and Gremlins. 10 is Evil Dead 1981. 9 was Cloverfield. 8, Nightmare on Elm Street 84. Halloween is number 7. 6 is Jaws. 5 is Fright Night. 4 is Exorcist. 3 is Poltergeist. 2 is Insidious. And number 1 for me is Freddy versus Jason.
Oh, what a
it was on there.
I love this. You just look at that and you know that shit's about to go down. Like Freddy is screaming and they're in each other's face, and I just love the poster, and like I said, I think it's pretty badass. So that had to be my number one.
What a great choice.
Thank you.
And you never know, Jason might be screaming too.
He could be, but we don't see that. He could be.
So, guys, those are our lists. What we're going to do real quick is we're going to catch up on the chat. And if you have any questions for me or Ashley or John or Jamie, the horror dads, let us know. We'll open up the chat for a little bit. Before we do that, though, Joe asked a question earlier. What of your posters is your favorite movie on the list? My favorite movie from these posters is House. I think everybody knows that. House from 1986 is my favorite. From your movies, which is your favorite?
Mine would be my number 7, Halloween.
I figured that.
Yes.
What about you, John? From your posters, what's your favorite movie on the list?
It's a little bit of a tough one, but I'm going to go with Fright Night.
Yeah.
Fright Night, yeah.
Perfect. What about you, Jamie?
Yeah, I kind of screwed myself by putting Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street on here. I'm going to go with just where my gut is right now, and I'm going to say Night of the Creeps, but I could easily say one of 5 different movies on here.
Right.
Sure. See, if we were asking what our second favorite was, I'd be fucked. I'm lucky House is on mine because that makes it easier for me.
Right.
So let's check out, let's catch up on the chat real quick. Damn, Ken's going to hate me if I say my thoughts on House. Well, I won't hate you because you're wrong. No, it's you know what, and it's awesome that people have different opinions. Like we talked about earlier in the show, if all of us had the exact same opinions, doing these live streams would be boring as shit. You know, so I love the fact that in the horror community, it not only is it all inclusive and it's always ahead of the curve on social issues with the movies that it makes, the fans are always so great, and everybody in the horror community is so understanding and welcoming. As long as you don't get the toxic masculinity guys that want to gatekeep every fucking thing, but that's in everything you love. So no, I think it's great that you're wrong on this one, but I'm sure you're right on some other stuff. No, I'm fucking with you, man. I love it. Nathan, number 1, Alice, Sweet Alice. Final mention,
Great one.
Us, the post with Adelaide. That's another good one. Alice, Sweet Alice is an underrated movie, and Nathan loves that movie. Like, we talk about that movie a lot, so good on you, Nathan. T. Parker, Halloween 2. I have mixed feelings about the film, but the jack-o'-lantern poster is disturbingly beautiful. I prefer it over the originals poster. Matt, I'm surprised, John. I would have lost money because I would have bet you would have said The Thing. That's Matt's favorite too.
It's my favorite movie of all time, that's for sure. And I don't know, for whatever reason, like I'm in the mindset of like on our podcast we talk about The Thing so many times. I felt like it was off limits to talk about, and I don't know why I didn't pick it because it's definitely in my top 10 favorite movie posters. So need a mulligan. I'll evict somebody off the list and then send everyone a revised one.
I did the same thing, John, with The Thing.
Yeah. The Thing, I love that movie. I love that poster. It was hard. Like I said, if this list was originally going to be like our top 25, and that was hard to do. So narrowing it down to 10 was super hard. Luckily, we had the 2 honorable mentions, but these lists are awesome. Thank you, guys. Rob and Kaylee. Matt, I would have lost money for sure. Thought John's number 1 would be The Thing. It's so funny because everybody thought like John's number 1 would be The Thing. My number 1 would be House, and we blew him away. Good job, John. Love it.
Got him.
Michael Jackson's Ghost and Thriller. Both are phenomenal short horror film music videos too. Love the Michael Jackson Thriller. I was gonna say that one too, Maya. I love that cover. Ken's number 1. His daughters. Generic.
At least it wasn't unicorns.
Right. Nice, Maya. Ken's phone background. No, honestly, it was not. That is definitely Chloe's. I don't have my phone in here because my other daughter has it because she's watching Micah Myers.
Micah Myers.
Micah Myers.
She just turned 2 and she's obsessed with Micah Myers.
Loves Micah Myers. It's awesome. Great number
and
1.
She's
Ashley.
Adorable.
She's you guys got to meet her for a little bit. I can't wait till we can actually have you meet her in person and go out for some beers or something.
For sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Alice, Sweet Alice. Oh, your favorite movie? Awesome. Are you guys familiar with Summer of '84? Yes, we did talk about that earlier on. We love the poster. We love the movie. And I love the ending of that film. I think it's a great film. It's a great coming of age movie. Did you watch Summer of '84 with me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did. Yeah, I did.
That dark ass ending.
Yeah.
And you guys talked about it a little bit, but do you want to give us your thoughts on Summer of '84?
I mean, Jamie and I are all in on that simply because, again, when it came up earlier, we were just talking about the idea of how insular the setting of being in the suburbs is, and how comforting it can be, and how disarming it is. So immediately when films are set there, and you've got friend groups, and people are binding together to try and solve a problem, and there are maybe sometimes there's a little bit of friction between community members and stuff. That's basically like what Jamie and I's life has been like growing up, because we've lived in small suburban towns, and we love that. So all about that movie. It could be about them trying to find like a lost cat turd, and I'd be in on it, because like the setting is everything, and
Right.
the friend group's great. So yeah.
It's so cool. What about you, Jamie?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with all of that. Also, you drop me into the 80s in any movie or show, I'm all in. So,
Hell yeah. I agree with you. We talked about this last night, you got your the Goonies, The Gate, Stand By Me, even the newer stuff, Summer of '84, Stranger Things, Monster Squad as an older one. But these are movies that, for us, it just it transports us back to that childhood, and the smells and the sounds, and completely agree with you guys there. What do you guys think of the Silent Night, Deadly Night poster, which caused all the soccer moms to riot?
I love it.
Definitely in on that.
All in.
We've talked about a couple movies now that have made the soccer moms riot. Or The Thing. I know Nathan loves The Thing. Yes, Ashley, glad you had Freddy vs. Jason on your list too.
Thank you.
Maya says, Horror Dads, I need to get to know you guys. What are each of your favorite horror and non-horror movies? Maya's favorite horror is Scream, and non-horror is Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So let's start with you this time, Jamie. What's your favorite horror and favorite non-horror?
So my favorite horror movie is also Scream. My favorite non-horror movie, that's really, really tough. I love shitty 80s movies. So I would have to say License to Drive is my favorite non-horror movie.
Nice. What about you, John?
That question is really tough, because I honestly, like, I don't really watch films that aren't horror movies. And I know it's like ridiculous to say. I either watch horror films or kids films for my kids. So my favorite horror film of all time, it would depend on the day and the season, but right now I would definitely say The Thing. However, Friday the 13th Part 3 or 4 would work its way into that list, as would Scream. So today it's The Thing, but ask me in a week, I might have a different answer for you. And if I had to pick my favorite non-horror film, I'd have to pick something like really horror adjacent, like Rear Window. Is probably one of my other favorite movies of all time. I know that's more thriller suspense. Some people would classify it as horror adjacent, but I'm going to take a cheap out on that off ramp, and I'm going to go with Rear Window for non-horror, and The Thing for horror.
Perfect.
Awesome.
The town in Summer of '84 is named after the town I'm from. I don't know if they did that on purpose or not, but that was cool to hear in the movie. That's so cool, man. Like, we were talking last night about how, damn it, now it's slipping me again. The movie that's filmed in Detroit that we just watched.
It Follows.
It Follows. Yes, I did this last night too.
Yeah.
Love the movie, but it's fun watching it and seeing all these, landmarks that and we were talking about that with you guys. It's really cool to see that type of stuff, or even hear the name. House is a classic. I completely agree. Try searching the poster for The Abomination from '85. You won't regret it. Any early predictions for the Super Bowl? Ashley's out on this one.
I don't even know who's the candidates.
My gut tells me Bucks Titans. I personally would like to see the
Lions.
Fuck. The Rams and the Bengals. I'll go with the Rams and the Bengals is who I would like to see in there. What about you guys?
I'm going to go Packers Chiefs.
Okay.
I'm going to go Packers Bills.
Okay.
And I'm going to say the Packers win.
Throw my Lions hat on here.
There we go.
They won like 2 games and tied one, so.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Jamie.
I do know that.
They sure did.
Favorite horror requel? Scream 2022, Candyman 2021, or Halloween 2018? You want to start that one off, babe?
Halloween 2018 would be my choice.
What about you, John?
Scream 2022.
Okay. What about you, Jamie?
Yeah, I'm Scream as well.
I'm Scream. I think that Candyman 2021 was probably the best when it comes to being a film. Not a horror film. I think it's a terrible horror film, but when it comes to being a film, Candyman 2021 is fucking phenomenal. But Scream 2022, maybe it's the new feeling. The newness of it.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what it is, but I really did like that. The Prowler has some scenes filmed in my town too. That's so dope.
Amazing.
Are you two from Michigan? Yes, we are. Born and raised, Detroit. That's us. Love it here. Even though, funny enough, I'm an Ohio State football fan.
Matt Peppler also lives in Michigan. That's why he's asking.
Oh, no shit.
Oh, okay.
That's awesome. Maybe we can get together sometime, man. I'd love to see some of your work in person, man. I want to see Packers versus Bengals.
Yeah, that'd be good too. Someday, Ken.
I can't root.
Have they ever gone?
No.
Like, ever?
No.
Never?
I can't root for the Packers. They're in our division. Like, I can't,
Oh.
I can't root for them. I just can't do it. My body won't.
I get it.
My favorite horror movie, The Crow. My favorite non-horror movie, Edward Scissorhands. Both very good choices.
Mm-hmm.
I'd consider Edward Scissorhands like a horror adjacent, maybe
Kinda.
gateway horror movie. Like,
Definitely.
man, the scene where he's trying to touch his father and he's cutting his face, that shit's scary as hell,
That is
man.
true.
Yeah.
Hey, Ash, same question about favorite horror and non-horror. I know your favorite horror, Ken, but what would you say your favorite non-horror is? I know what your favorite non-horror is. So would yours be People Under the Stairs and The Notebook?
Oh, gosh, this is hard. Probably, I don't know if it's People Under the Stairs. I don't have a favorite horror.
I know.
It's so hard. Probably People Under the Stairs. Yeah. Would be my favorite horror movie. And then non-horror would probably be Bridesmaid. I freaking love that movie.
Not The Notebook?
Not The Notebook. No.
Listen, we love The Notebook. I don't care what anybody says. Listen, for our anniversary, I rented out a movie theater.
It was for Valentine's Day.
For Valentine's Day last year.
Yeah.
I rented out a movie theater, and it was just me and her watching The Notebook.
It was super awesome.
In cinema.
Yeah.
And like, we love that movie.
He likes it more than I
do. I fucking love that movie.
That's great, though.
My wife, everybody.
Yeah.
We're here to watch The Notebook for my wife.
Like, we really gotta watch this.
For my wife.
Ken, what would you say your favorite non-horror is? Back to the Future. Absolutely Back to the Future. Or Angus, 90s movie about a fat kid that loves punk rock. Like,
that movie's
such a great movie.
Yeah.
I'd also say Scream 2022 was the best of those three. You probably could have guessed that. Yeah. Matt, hit me up on social media, man. Let's get together one day. Let's have some dinner, have a beer, go to a movie.
Is super close to us.
Yeah. Let's do it, man. Let's do something. Let's have a good time. Where are you horror dads located? I'm in freezing cold Canada.
We are in freezing cold Youngstown, Ohio, which is like it's northeast. It's pretty much Cleveland.
Yeah, we're only like 4.5 hours away from.
Got my Chase Young jersey right here. Talking about Ohio State.
Oh, there you
go. Jersey.
Nice.
Great stream tonight, guys. Thank you so much. My favorite recall is Scream 22 and Halloween 2018. Bridesmaids is awesome. It's so funny.
I love it.
Like, such a funny, underrated comedy.
It cracks me up. I could watch it all the time.
I bet you we have, Matt. And I'm gonna see you and be like, oh yeah, dude, let's continue to hang out. This is gonna be fun.
I work with a lot of people that live in Lansing.
According to Sean Clark, they started filming Halloween Ends last week. Any predictions, or what do you hope for the film to be satisfying? I hope that I don't have to hear Evil Dies tonight at all, ever again.
You might.
I hope that the ending of
I'm gonna say
Kill.
my Karen isn't dead.
Yes.
That's my prediction.
I hope that isn't true.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that Karen's still alive, and I'm gonna say that Andy Matichak. What's her character's name? Karen's daughter.
Oh,
Why can't I think of her name?
I don't know. I can't. Every time you do that, then I can't ever think.
Yeah, I think she's gonna be the one to kill Michael in Halloween Ends. I don't think it's gonna be Jamie. I think that if Karen is dead, Jamie's gonna go after Michael. Jamie's gonna die while going after Michael, and Andy Matichak's gonna be the one to end up killing Michael. Those are my predictions. What would I like to see to make it satisfying? I don't know. Like I like Halloween Kills. I don't love it, but I like it. Just give me more of that. More slasher, more Allison. Thank you.
Allison, yeah.
I just want to see, mindless killing in a slasher. That's what I want. But I don't want to wait 3 years after the initial release date to go watch it. That's what built it up so much for us and let us down so hard. But I'm definitely going to say that Andy Matichak, Allison kills Michael, and Jamie dies in it as well. So Laurie Strode is going to die for like the 8th time in the Halloween franchise.
Yeah, I was like, she doesn't die. Like Michael doesn't die.
Yeah. They're together. So
yeah.
what would you like to see to make Halloween Ends successful to you?
Like I said, Karen isn't really dead.
Yeah.
And
not my Karen.
Yeah, not my Karen. And yeah, this Michael fucking some shit up.
Yeah, for sure. What about you guys? I want to see Michael get hit with that iron the lady had in the crowd too. What about you guys? Something that you'd like to see in Halloween Ends, or any predictions you have for it?
I think I'd like to just see some sort of definitive end. I like the end of Halloween H2O because it kind of had the punctuation mark at the end of the sentence, right? And I think that's not saying I want the franchise to end, but I think I'm ready for this storyline to be gone and ready to start with something else next. So I think some sort of definitive, a good ending, which is like the hardest thing in anything, right? But I think that's what I'm after. Yeah.
I would love a H2O type ending where this is the end. That I think that's the reason I hate Resurrection so much, because it ruined what H2O perfectly ended. So completely agree with you there, John. What about you, Jamie?
Yeah. I was actually going to say, speaking of Halloween H2O, John, I was going to say I would love to see them come for full circle and Laurie drive that fucking ambulance into a ditch and actually chop Michael's fucking head off.
That would be awesome.
But I wouldn't like to see that simply because I do want it to keep going. I don't want Michael to die. So, but to your point, John, I would like to see this storyline be done.
Yeah.
See, I think that they're going to cut his head off and then take the mask off, and it's going to be Busta Rhymes.
Doing karate.
Great choices, Ash. Sorry to put you on the spot.
Oh, no, you're good.
My favorites are Scream 96 and The Breakfast Club. My screen name is based off Judd Nelson. I always thought that. Who plays my favorite movie character of all time, John Bender. And John Bender is actually the influence for one of my favorite characters of all time.
We can't see it.
Bender from Futurama.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great picks, Gavin.
Yeah. I love those two movies very, very much. Scream, again, huge influence. I went to get a Scream tattoo when I was 15 with my cousin, and he actually talked me into actually getting the Shriek instead of Ghostface. So Scream, a huge impact on all of us in this chat as well. So great choices, man. If you all had to choose your favorite self-referential sequel between Jason Lives and Bride of Chucky, which would you all choose? I'm going Jason Lives. I love Jason Lives. I love Bride of Chucky, but Jason Lives is going to edge down a little bit because I watched it at a younger age and it meant a little more to me. What about you, my love?
I'm going to go with Bride of Chucky. I love Jennifer Tilly, and I just really like that movie.
Yeah, they're both great movies. That's actually a really good question, Shaim. What about you, Jamie?
I'm Jason Lives as well. I really love the Tommy Jarvis arc and storyline in that one.
Yeah. What about you, John?
Yeah. I'm with Jamie here on Jason Lives for sure. I do love Jennifer Tilly, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. Huge Jennifer Tilly fans.
Yeah.
I got to say, Evil Dies Tonight was probably the thing I quoted the most in 2021. It did quoted and parodied.
Yeah.
Like they were talking about, you got Scream, and then you're going to get Scream Ends. So you got Sydney Dies Tonight, so we had all that stuff going on. So for sure. It's -21 right now. Ohio is probably cold too. Yes.
It's probably in the negative.
Ken, but Evil Dies Tonight. So here it is. If I hear Evil Dies Tonight and Halloween Ends, I'm throwing something at the theater screen as long as there aren't any witnesses. That's awesome. If I'm being honest, I'm not even excited for Halloween Ends. See, I am, and here's the thing.
I'm telling you.
Again, I'm not trying to talk bad at you, Mud. Gavin, right?
Yeah, Gavin.
But you go back to The Empire Strikes Back. That movie was fucking hated when it came out because of how it ended. And then Return of the Jedi came out, and everybody like completely flipped shit on Empire Strikes Back. It became this beloved movie that because they knew what happened afterwards, it totally flipped it on its head on how people felt about it. And I really think that could happen with Halloween Kills, depending on what they do with Halloween Ends. I think it could really flip it on its head and be like, oh, this makes so much more sense now. I actually love Halloween Kills. I'm hoping that's what happens.
I think it will.
But I liked Halloween Kills the first time we seen it. I started to love it by about the 4th or 5th time.
Yeah, that
Once
was one of
I-
the movies we watched on the way to Salem.
Once I hindered my expectations on it, definitely. Yes, Maya, it's freezing here in Ohio. Do you guys think Halloween Ends is going into a supernatural direction like they did at Halloween 6? Possibly. They hint at it. You know, the conversation that Lori and him had in the hospital when she was talking about how you can't kill Michael with brute force. Like, it's definitely giving some foreshadowing into some supernatural stuff. What's your opinion?
I would.
I think it's
agree with
possible
that, yeah.
for sure. What about you guys?
Yeah, I think they're probably planting that seed. They're probably up in the air on it themselves, and they're like, let's just sprinkle this little idea in here.
Right.
If they do it, I hope they don't fucking bring the cult in. Like, please don't.
Yeah.
Please don't. I don't think that they will. I think that they're gonna, because if they do that, I feel like if they're gonna do that, they would have done it more comprehensively by this point, rather than just kind of allude to it. And if they do that, I'm going to be upset because it's going to be a cheap cop out ending. Like I want my clear definitive ending, and if they do that, it's not going to be a clear definitive ending, and the entire third film is going to be focused on that. It's going to be like, why is this happening all of a sudden? Or a couple. It sounds like I'm coming at you guys. I'm not. I'm not mad at you guys for asking the question. It sounds like I am, and I apologize for that. But I hope they don't do that.
No, you're fine. They get it, man. Look, they're two of the coolest people I know. They totally understand, and we appreciate your honesty, man. Busta Rhymes is the only answer to defeating Michael, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, for sure. There's no other way. Haven't checked my progress in a while, but hey, congratulations. Over 350 subs, 9,000 views. Great job. Maya took a break from YouTube. Had to take a little break, but I'm glad you're doing good.
Good job.
What if evil dies during the daytime or in the morning? It can't. It has to die at night.
Just that night.
Yeah. You
Simply
can
can't.
try to kill it in the morning, but
It doesn't work.
it just doesn't work. That's why we're having the troubles that we're having with it. Sorry, I'm super late, guys. I will rewatch this on a replay later on. Thank you. We appreciate that. I'm looking forward to Halloween Ends to see how they wrap up the story in the trilogy. You know, and this could end in so many different ways, and everybody's like, oh, Halloween Ends. This is not going to be the end of Michael Myers. This is going to be the end of this trilogy. Yeah.
It just doesn't.
Yeah.
Right.
It'll be Halloween Returns to the old folks' home. Orange walls. Love it, dude. I'm assuming it's talking about you, Jamie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I painstakingly, I'd put like 6 coats on these fucking walls. It just like sucked up the, ugh.
Oh, it's so awesome. I liked kills. I just don't have the energy for ends. I get it. Like, I totally get it.
Yeah.
Born to be Rad is here. Some of my favorite movie posters: Leprechaun, Child's Play 2, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, and Ernest Scared Stupid, just to name a few. Man, I'll tell you this: Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. Keith Coogan, one of the coolest fucking dudes I've ever met in my life.
I love that movie.
Yeah, and Keith's one of the nicest dudes. Evil dies this afternoon. Yeah, it doesn't have quite the same ring to it. I just picture them at like a fucking old country buffet at 6 a.m. Evil dies this morning. Evil dies this morning.
Like that South Park episode where they're trying to get in.
Where they lock up the old country buffet so the old folks can't get in. Well, we want to thank everybody for coming out and hanging out with us. I said it at the beginning. I said it in the second act, but the credits are about to roll, guys. We're in the third act, and make sure you're clicking the link down here. Check out their website. For those of you that didn't see, they got this badass merch. Matt Peppler, who has been here in the chat talking to us, our Lansing friend, he did the design on these shirts, and you can get your own shirt right down here. If this is your first time here at Sledgehammer Horror, click that subscribe button. We do a lot of live videos. We do a bunch of different content here on the channel. We'd love to have you along for it. Gentlemen, if you would stick around, we got a couple more things we'd like to talk about with you. Everybody else, I'm Ken Sledge.
I'm Ashley Sledge.
Keep talking horror. Stay what you are. And we'll see you guys soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
You guys.